Okay, well thank you for coming to this interview, and I think we'll just kick things right off.
Hell yes, sir.
What's your stage name?
Optomistt. I wanted to change it just from the basic word OPTIMIST. I wanted to twist it up a little bit because there's surprisingly no artist with just the name Optomistt, but I wanted to make it a little unique in itself, and I just wanted to catch people off guard. Because I used to be a very angry person, and then over time when I got older, I gained a lot of control of my emotions. Became definitely more of a person with, I guess, a cup half empty, half full. So I decided to look at things with a brighter light, hence the name.
Word. And Blue Boy, you go by Blue Boy sometimes. Can you explain that a bit?
Yeah, Blue Boy is an alias that I'm creating for the next string of singles that I have that I'm creating. The basic idea of it is it's an embodiment of me, but it's more like an embodiment of the pain and like sadness I've felt in my life, and how I express that through the music, and how basically how it compares to the color blue within like everything in life. Like most people relate sadness to crying to water to the ocean. It's, yeah, I don't want to get too much into it, but that's the basic idea.
So what do you have coming up next for EP or song-wise?
I'll drop a couple of song names. One of them, the whole cultivated idea of the next few singles that I'm going to be releasing is called Blue Boy in itself. I have one track that's called Blue Boy. I got one that's called Blueberry, I got one that's called Dory, and I got one that's called Atlantic. And they're all dropping within the next 2 months.
Nice. Do you ever get recognized in public by fans or anything like that?
Yeah. The weirdest time I've gotten recognized was back when I was visiting Calgary a few years ago, which is my hometown. It was really odd because I haven't like released anything, or I rarely talk to any of my music industry connections out there as of currently. So I was surprised that I had fans there. I kind of just met them like at a bus stop when I was getting into a friend's car.
Nice.
It was really sweet.
What artist inspires you?
Good question. The two artists that inspire me the most in general, and are generally the reasons I got into rap, since the beginning, it was Jay-Z first, and since music's changed and it's twisted and evolved in quite a few ways, X, Roddy Ricch, I have a few others. Nas, Biggie.
It's like a mix of old school and new age.
Exactly,
Nice.
exactly. Yeah, I like to mix a lot of like new school trap with a lot of old school boom bap. And I'm very R&B inspired as well. I haven't shown that side of me yet.
How do you handle pressure?
Pressure? Whenever I feel like I'm in a position that I feel like I can't handle, instead of like internalizing it and just like, I guess, forcing those emotions down, I try and let it out as much as I can and communicate with myself, realize that this is a situation that might stress me out, and then just think about the smartest way to go about the situation within the next few moments without making an incredible difference, like in my emotional state, or like completely changing the aura of the vibe, basically. Like for example, like the first couple times I performed, like I think I've done now 16, 17 shows. My first show back in West Kelowna, it was around like 40, 50 plus people. And the first like issue that I immediately noticed was like my breathing just got quicker. So before I even like started rapping a word, I just like turned around and didn't look at anybody, and just like did the breathing exercise of just like super deep through the nose and then out through the mouth. And I did it like 10 times. Yeah. And I just did like a little intro before I did my song, and it calmed me down a lot, and it helped me get vocal control through the first few tracks.
Awesome, good answer. How do you handle haters that hate on your music?
Surprisingly, I've only had a few so far. But usually, I usually ask for valid reasons why, other than them like not liking my personality or them just not liking like the vision that I represent. If it's an issue with my lyrics, I'll usually talk it out, or if it's like an issue with the mix, I'll try and fix it later on. But most of the time, I usually accept it, because if you got haters, you're doing something right.
Word. What's your favorite color?
Right now it's blue.
Blue for sure, yeah. What have you learned so far, music-wise or in general?
Music-wise, I've learned that you really, in an industry that's this saturated at this current moment, I feel like you have to be very dedicated, and you have to have passion, and you have to have basically the will to not give up. Even with my work ethic and the schooling I have, lots of people have told me most people don't blow up in 10 years. With the experience I have, I do have a better chance of blowing up within the next 5 years, but I look at it, and even if it doesn't happen in the next 10 years, I gotta still keep pushing, keep marketing, keep thinking of positive things to get people's attention, and just continue being a better artist.
Sure. What do you think of the music industry on a local level and a global level?
On a local level, I'd say we could improve in connections. I definitely feel that, especially in the rap genre itself, there's definitely a lot of different certain cliques, a lot of people that don't want to get out of those certain cliques. And I've talked to a lot of different people within those certain cliques, and a lot of them are cool with interconnections and like opening opening their musical freedom to other artists and collabing and making connections with outside of those cliques. And at this point, making connections and traveling around town, meeting other artists, that's kind of been my goal. So I'd say it's here, because we don't have a lot of artists, say as like LA or Vancouver, I wouldn't say it's saturated. I'd just say for all of us to improve, it just needs better interconnection.
Nice. Define yourself in 3 words.
That's a good one. I would say calm, confident, and a majority of the time well-spoken.
Yeah. Who would you like to perform with?
My goal and my main inspiration would definitely to one day be on stage with Travis Scott. I think that's definitely a dream of a lot of people's.
Okay. Are you in a relationship?
Yes, I am.
How's that going?
Pretty incredible, man.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible. My girl makes me happy every day.
Oh, that's good.
It's the reason I'm sitting here right now.
What country would you like to visit?
First and foremost, Fiji. Definitely
Fiji?
Fiji.
Yeah.
Need a warm beach.
What do you want to say to yourself a year from now?
The first thing I want to say a year from now would just be calm down and look back at your life and think about the position that you've gotten yourself at now. Even if things haven't changed as much as you'd like it, just think about how you've improved as a person, and you've changed and evolved. And I want to say to always look at things with a positive light, and don't let the negativity of society and what like you see on the internet every day convince you that you can't really complete your dreams, that you can't go for what you want to go for no matter what.
Cool. How do you find the clothes you wear?
Majority of the time, I have like deals with a few friends. I work in the mall, which helps a lot. But other than that, I like to mix it up and go thrift shopping. I like customizing some of my clothes, just like ripping them up or writing on them. I've slowed down on that a lot. I've kind of just gone for a more cleaner look. So majority of the time right now it's shopping online, kind of mixing up like, I guess, mostly just skater brands and Guess, and then just trying to find out what I can come up with, trying to find more unique, uniquely simple outfits, I guess.
What was your most recent show?
I'm trying to think here. I'm pretty sure my most recent one was Live at the Ends. I want to say it was a month ago, with Prince Computer, Indigo, Migs, and Dead Rose, and Kappa and Ashawn. It was quite a fun time. The crowd had an incredible vibe.
Nice. What show do you have up next?
This one, this good old baby. The NAC is the venue, right? That's the name of it?
Yeah, New Arts Collective. Yeah.
New Arts Collective, guys, come through!
What's the best approach to songwriting for you?
For me, the best approach to songwriting is usually starting with a melody first. I usually like to chop it up, flip it and reverse it. I usually just like to play with it, make it so I feel like if I'm using a loop, it's mine, or if I'm using just like continuous chords on a piano, I touch it up a bit, like frequency-wise, or just switch up the tone so it doesn't sound like a normal piano. I always start usually with a unique and catchy melody, and from that I usually build the drums around the track if I'm doing any sort of rap track. But if it's anything R&B, I usually just go with like a very slow melody and then kind of like a lo-fi style drum, something that anyone from like Bryson Tiller to Kalani could sing over. More relaxing, I guess.
Nice. What's your most listened to song?
Pretty sure right now it's Reloaded, which makes sense.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you for coming in. Look forward to having you back again.
Of course. Until next year.
Yeah.